Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Unity Interface Training course. Now that we've learned about the hierarchy window, let's move on to another very important part of Unity, the inspector window. The inspector is the place where you can view and edit the properties of any object or asset that you select. Think of it as the settings panel for everything inside your project. When you click on a GameObject in the hierarchy, the inspector shows all the components attached to that object. For example, if you select a simple 3D object like a cube, you will see components such as Transform, which controls the position, rotation, and scale, Mesh Filter, which tells Unity which 3D mesh to display, Mesh Renderer, which controls how the object is drawn, Collider, which lets the object interact with physics. Each component has its own set of properties that you can edit directly inside the inspector. If you click on an asset in the project window, like a material, an image, an audio file, or a script, the inspector will show the import settings and options for that specific asset. For example, clicking on a material shows the shader and color settings. Clicking on a texture shows the import size, compression, and filtering options. Clicking on an audio file shows the audio compression and playback options. One of the most important things about the inspector is that it updates instantly based on whatever you select. This means the inspector is always showing you the information of the current object you're working with. At the top of the inspector window, you'll also find a few useful buttons. Lock icon. This locks the inspector so it doesn't change when you select something else. Add component. This button lets you attach new components to your selected GameObject, such as physics, scripts, audio, and more. The inspector is where you spend a lot of time customizing and fine-tuning your GameObjects, making it one of the most important windows in the Unity editor. And that's the inspector window. In the next lesson, we'll move on to one of the most important areas in Unity, the scene view, where you visually build and arrange your game world.